Man, I don't really make videos about this kind of shit, but I'm just gonna make this video because I want to share my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So Jake Paul, Jake Paul called out Conor McGregor yesterday, and it set the social media world ablaze. Like everywhere I looked, and it's probably just because of the accounts that I follow. To be fair, on Instagram and Twitter, follow me by the way at the Battle Camp. It's probably just because of the accounts that I follow, but everybody was talking about it, and it seemed to not really divide opinion. Everybody's opinion was coming from the same place, but there were kind of two mindsets around the call out. One, what an idiot, and just every swear word under the sun, disrespectful, blah blah blah, etc etc etc. And then there was another camp saying, why is everyone talking about it? Don't quote retweet it, don't post it, don't give them the attention, just completely ignore it. That was basically the mindset of majority of the people that I follow on social media. I'm in agreement with a lot of people when it comes to this. I honestly, I couldn't give a flying Frenchman's fuck about Logan and Jake Paul. I don't care about them to the extent where what they do doesn't bother me. Does that make sense? Like, it's just I'm so far removed from that world of YouTube computer game player that, like, who just let them do what they're doing. Who cares if they're making money? Let them live their life the way that they think is the right way to live. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can understand the anger behind the call out for Conor McGregor, because some of the stuff he said is just the stuff that is the kind of stuff that is frowned upon. Is frowned upon within the world of combat sports. Like, if someone was to make a video like that and call out a potential opponent in the UFC or Bellator or in boxing, I think a lot of people would be very, very, very disappointed in said fighter. But this isn't his world. Jake Paul comes from a completely different world. He's not a martial artist. He's not a boxer. So he's behaving the way that his world operates. It's just as simple as that, really. Do you know what I mean? One thing that I do kind of struggle with is a school of thought where people are saying, "Oh, this is why boxing is this puts boxing in a really bad light. This shouldn't happen. Why is Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul? Like, why are these guys boxing? We should stop them from doing it." But I don't have a problem with them boxing. If they can find someone that's willing to get in the ring with them, if they can earn money from it, let them. Like, the people that have that opinion, I kind of feel like they're kind of just angry at the sport of boxing. And the reason why they're angry at the sport of boxing is because boxing as a sport doesn't help itself. Like, we shouldn't be sat here waiting for top level fighters to fight each other. It shouldn't take 4 years for them to fight each other. Like, in any other sport, like football, for example, like, it's like, a team wins the Premier League. Arsenal did it fucking 15, 20 years ago, but we have done it. And then imagine we're champions in England, and then Barcelona are champions in Spain, and then Paris Saint-Germain are champions in France. And we've got the Champions League where everybody, which we haven't played in for years, but that's a different story. But we've got the Champions League where everybody goes, you play each other, and you see who the best team in Europe is. Like, that's just how things work, right? There's a way of finding out who the best is. In boxing, you've got, your full different governing bodies: IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO, and there's champions that hold different belts and that, and they all claim I'm the best. But when it comes to fighting the other champion, it's all like, oh no, well, I'm the A side, no, I'm the A side, and no, I fight on this channel, and no, I fight on that channel. No, you need to come across the road, in the case of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. And, like, look, I understand why these things happen, but I'm just talking from a sporting perspective. Like, there's always more questions than answers when it comes to boxing. Who's the best, and the things of that nature. And that's where boxing trips over itself as a sport. And with that happening, I can understand the frustration of the average boxing fan. We're not getting the fights that we want to see. And then you've got these two fucking dickheads coming in, throwing their weight around, earning millions of dollars, fighting people that, you know, other YouTubers or ex-American footballers or whatever that geezer was, making, you know, X amount of dollars. I can understand why people are getting annoyed, but rather than getting annoyed at Logan Paul and Jake Paul, get annoyed at the people that have power and influence within the sport of boxing, because those are the guys that are doing a disservice to the sport, not two fucking idiot YouTube boys. Do you know what I mean? It's just as simple as that, really. Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's like me now sitting here getting pissed off that we got Soccer Aid that happens every year. It's like me getting pissed off that Chunks, the YouTuber, is playing football with an ex-England international. Like, why should that annoy me? You know? But, I mean, it is what it is. And people are getting angry at Floyd Mayweather for getting involved in this fight with Logan Paul. But he's not an active fighter anymore. He's not a boxer. He's retired. So if he's found a way to make millions of dollars having an easy night's work, don't get angry at him at it. Let him earn his money. It's not like, well, I don't see what he's doing wrong. If it was Errol Spence not fighting Terence Crawford and fighting Logan Paul, then I'd be a little bit like, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't even going to talk about this. I don't know why I started talking about it. But let me go back to my original point. Jake Paul and his call out of Conor McGregor, it set the world alight. Now, this fight, like, I can't in a million years see this fight happening. And I don't know whether Jake Paul just has his head so far up his own arse that he doesn't understand how the dynamics within kind of not just the UFC, the journey that I believe Conor McGregor is currently on with his fight with Dustin Poirier coming up. I can't see how he thinks that Conor McGregor is going to deviate from from what he's doing at the moment to say, you know what I really want to do is fight Logan Paul. Like, you can say whatever you want about Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor is a guy that, yes, he likes to earn money, but he is also a guy that believes he's the best and he wholeheartedly wants to prove it. Fighting Logan Paul isn't going to achieve that for him. And a $50 million offer is, like, he's one person that a $50 million offer does nothing for. Like, he's a multi-millionaire. He's on his way to being a billionaire. He like a 50, obviously it's a lot of money, but it's not something that is going to make him really think, you know what, fuck trying to be the UFC champion. Let me go and fight Logan Paul quickly. And this Dylan Dennis thing that happened when Jake Paul was, you know, Dylan Dennis was doing an interview with Brendan Schaub, Food Truck Diaries, which is honestly, that is the worst concept for an interview show known to mankind. There's nothing worse than trying to watch two people have a conversation while they're eating fucking chicken wings or eating a burger. Yeah, so like, that's so, doesn't that annoy you? Like someone like just taking a big bite off a burger and Brendan Schaub's talking for doing a 2-minute monologue because he doesn't know how to ask a straight question, and he'll ask a question and start answering it himself. So I'm the guest here. Imagine me being a fighter. I was thinking, all right, well, I might as well have a bite now because this guy's not going to let me talk. And just as soon as you take that big bite, he's like, so who do you want to fight next, champ? And then you're thinking, oh, fucking fine. All right, after 3 minutes and 47 seconds of you talking at me, now you think it's time for me to talk just when I've taken this bite of this burger. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is Brendan Schaub blatantly was in on that. And I'll go as far as to say Dylan Dennis was in on that as well. Because Brendan Schaub is a guy that notoriously loves attaching himself to things that are popular. I know he's been on the Logan Paul podcast. Logan Paul came on his Food Truck Diaries just last week. And what are the chances the following week that Dylan Dennis is on his show and Jake Paul just happens to know at what day, what time, and what location, send me location, they're shooting, and he just turns up with fucking bog roll and hot not hot water balloons, because that's not really the thing, innit? It's just water balloons. Like, he turned up on site to do a drive-by. What are the chances? And if I'm Dylan Dennis, and if I got if I got duped into doing this food truck diary with Brendan Schaub, and I wasn't made aware that this is going to happen, I'd literally go and beat the shit out of Brendan Schaub. If I'm Dylan Dennis, I'm me, so I can't physically do that. But if I was Dylan Dennis, that is what I would be doing. But I'm certain the way that Dylan Dennis goes back and forth with these Logan Pauls and Jake Pauls of the world, he was in on it as well. But yeah, this is the last time I'm going to talk about the Logan Paul brothers. I've never spoken about them before, and I won't again. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Don't be scared to hit the like button, share this with a friend, and subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers.